I'm getting my applesauce ready to process, and there are a couple of things my mom taught me that I thought would be good to tell you about, because they're the kind of things that aren't necessarily written down. Just those little tips from the kitchen. So when you are sealing a jar of applesauce, it's important that there's no residue left on the rim. So if there's even just the tiniest bit of applesauce around the edge of the jar, it won't seal. Like the rubber won't make a seal. So before you place the lids on the jar, get a wet, clean washcloth and just rub it nice and clean and make sure there's no applesauce on the top of the jar. That's the first thing. To prepare the lids for the processing, they need to be boiled. So we put them in just like a frying pan of hot boiling water for just a minute or two. And that softens up the rubber. It also sterilizes the lids so that they are clean, right? So there's no germs on them. So we heat up the lids and then we place them on the tops of the jars that we have cleaned meticulously with a rag. And then when you put these lids on, you want to just twist them kind of finger tight. You don't want them to be too tight and you don't want them to be too loose, but you don't put a lot of effort into it, just kind of finger tight, okay? So then you put them into a pot of water, and the water needs to cover the jar with at least a full inch of water. If the applesauce is still warm, you can put it into warm water. But if the applesauce has cooled, you need to match the temperature of what's inside, because glass, even though this is tempered glass, if there's a huge temperature difference, the glass can crack when you start to boil the jars. So I have warm applesauce. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's kind of lukewarm. So I filled my pot with lukewarm water and I put it on the stove, and I'm putting my jars in there. This is called a jar lifter, and it allows me to handle the jars and lift them up safely in and out of hot boiling water. So you just put the jars in, screw these lids on finger tight, put the jars into the water, and then bring this water to a boil. It needs to be a full rolling boil with lots and lots of bubbles coming to the surface, big bubbles that make a noise, and the lid might clatter around and make some sound because it's really rolling. Once you get a really heavy rolling boil, and that can take sometimes a long time for a whole bunch of water to come to a full rolling boil, but you wait until that point where it's really, really boiling. At that point, that's when you set the timer. And it doesn't need to be, anyway, so you set the timer. Boil it for 10 minutes at a rolling boil, and then turn the heat off. If you have several batches to process, just remember that you need to match the temperature of the applesauce in the jars. So you can't just take cold applesauce jars and put them back into this pot of hot boiling water. You'll need to change out the water, add some ice, do something to make the temperature match the temperature of the glass. And then you start the process over again, boiling these jars. So those are just a little tips and tricks of like what my mom taught me about the canning process for a non-acidic fruit like applesauce. So you don't have to use a pressure cooker or anything. It's just a water bath, and it's not that complicated. But just all of these little kind of details I thought might be good to talk about with canning. So that's all.